is going on, everybody? My name is CapShotz, as always, my dynamic duo and everything nerdy in the universe, Michael Hush.
Yo.
And we're going to be reacting and talking about SDCC 2022 and all the Marvel stuff that they released. Um, they released a lot more than I thought, and there's so much more to go. That I think, as far as D23, coming around the corner in a couple months, I'm very excited to see what they plan on doing. Um, so, Mike, I know you have a lot of this stuff pulled up. So, what's kind of the first thing on the slate that we're gonna be talking about here?
Well, first off, I'm not glad. I was starting to get a headache on Saturday night because of all the shit they were releasing. I was starting to get really overwhelmed. Um, I I'm gonna be honest with you. Just before we get into Phase 5, before leading into this Comic Con, I was seeing a lot on Twitter and YouTube saying, don't expect Marvel to like drop bombs and everything. Like, expect them to show like She-Hulk and um what was the other one? Wakanda
Wakanda Forever.
Forever,
Yep.
and kind of promote that stuff. And like they were like, oh, you keep your expectations low. So I was like, all right, so probably all the big shit's gonna happen D23. No. Marvel's like, nah, fuck that shit. We're
I mean,
releasing
they
almost
dropped,
everything.
they literally dropped their nuts on our foreheads and said, "What's good?"
Yeah, exactly.
To say the
Uh,
least. I mean,
dude, because I'm still kind of mind blown at all the shit they drop, and then like the crazy thing to me is it's not even D23 yet. Like there's gonna be so much more in that.
right.
And I think a big reason why they dropped the Avengers movies that they did is because of the trademarks that got leaked. In my opinion, it's very possible. But so let's get into Phase 5. Phase 5 starts with Ant-Man Quantumania, which will have Kang in it, which
Well,
is
actually, before we do that, we can kind of round out, Phase 4. With Wakanda Forever being the last film of Phase 4,
that
which
is
was, which
true.
was a huge thing. I really didn't even think we were gonna get some type of trailer yet. Although the movie comes out in November, I mean, I would almost hope so that it
Yeah, I mean
did.
it's only a teaser.
Exactly. Even that was a teaser, and that was the best like minute and a half of my life. I swear. I mean, that trailer, we watched it a couple times. I've watched it even more since we did the reaction to it. I mean, it's
Same.
a baller ass trailer. And it's just a freaking teaser at that. It isn't even the main official trailer. We already got things for Riri Williams as Ironheart. Shuri potentially being the Black Panther. Namor the Submariner, and all these different things kind of off the teaser alone. So I'm definitely excited for that movie to come out to kind of
And
finish out Phase 4.
I mean like I sent you this text after I went to bed that later that night, but like I forgot Doctor Doom was
Is
even in
Yep.
part of that
So
movie. Now
yeah,
I don't think he'll be shown. I think he'll
he'll
be
be very hinted
teased.
at, right?
Yeah. Um, I think in a couple of the videos I watched later that night about the trailer, they're thinking he's behind the people, like those that like the army guys, kind of forcing Wakandans to like find more vibranium and shit. And so that's to me nuts. And that was a that was a big thing that I forgot about, that Doctor Doom was gonna be hinted at in that one, because he's obviously a huge fucking villain. So that I mean, obviously, most people are excited for that movie, so I think that's a good way to end Phase 4. I think that was probably the best way to do it.
I agree. I agree. So yeah, Ant-Man Quantumania, being the first movie of Phase 5.
Hmm.
Little bit of teaser trailer that they got that they haven't released yet. Same for a couple of these movies that are supposed to come out in Phase 5.
Yeah.
That people described them, and they have the hints of MODOK. They have the hints of dialogue between Paul Rudd and Jonathan Majors, Kane the Conqueror. Um, the kind of like overarching kind of story to begin Ant-Man 3. So I would like to see the trailer, sometime soon. I'm a big fan of both the Ant-Man movies, to be honest, or just anything that Paul Rudd is in, especially MCU wise. I think he's
Hmm.
great in it.
He really
I
is.
think he's just fun. He's literally a 50-some-year-old man who acts like a kid, just like a lot of these guys do. But like the personality that he captures as Scott Lang, Janet Van Dyne with Evangeline Lilly. I mean, all these different actors that are portraying these characters. Cassie Lang gonna end up being Stinger. I'm
Yeah.
very excited to see how that suit will look in live action. I'm just very excited to see how that movie's gonna progress and how MODOK is gonna kind of fit into that too.
Honestly, I for that movie, Okay, so I really like the first Ant-Man. The second one, I thought it was like okay. This one is going to be absolutely nuts because it has the big bad in it. It has Kang in it. Like I don't know what like that's just crazy to me. Like what is gonna happen in this movie? There's gonna be so much crazy shit that happens in this Ant-Man movie. Like it's gonna. I think it might be the best. I think it has the potential to be one of the best ones for sure.
I mean, yeah, I kind of agree with that. You know, the first one was very good. Second one was very. It wasn't as good. I don't think the Ghost character was insane by any means necessary. That whole story wasn't insane by any means. But I
Yeah,
think I just think I love Paul Rudd, dude. I love Paul Rudd. I love his
he
Ant Man.
was.
I mean, his Ant Man is just great. It's
Yeah,
hilarious.
perfect
Um,
casting.
I agree. I mean, as many of these MCU characters in general have been, they're perfect castings.
Yeah,
Um, I think Ant-Man 3 does indeed have the potential to be something insane. You know, we have the leak and the confirmation that um Bill Murray is supposed to be in it for some way or another, whether he's just a random kind of citizen of the quantum realm city that we had hinted in the last movie and the first one, you know. So
yeah,
I'm very curious to see how he fits in, who he plays, if it's just something small and kind of just went off like, oh, we got him in the MCU somewhere type of deal. Fine,
yeah.
whatever. Not gonna fuss over it. He's an older guy, so it's not like he would be in a ton of movies to begin with, you know, going
Mhm.
forward anyway. So it's like whatever. Um, you know, like you said, nail on the head with that one. It has the potential to be a very, very good MCU movie and a huge plot driver towards, you know, what we're gonna end up getting in Phase 6.
Yeah. So coming up after that, so that comes out February 2023. Next is Secret Invasion.
Secret Invasion is supposed to be a show on Disney Plus. I heard
Yep.
they're doing some reshoots, so hopefully
Uh,
get those done soon.
so the minor things I've heard is it's gonna be like a political thriller. It's gonna be a little bit more serious, which would be that'll be very interesting. I think they're gonna dive into some of the like I I think it was the video we were just watching on 3C Films, or it was Screen Crush. No, it was Screen Crush. Most of the scrolls we've seen so far have been very nice, and that's kind of like threw me through a loop because what I did like before Captain Marvel came out, I kind of was like rewatching some of the scroll stuff from Avengers: Earth Mightiest Heroes,
Mm-hmm.
um, and all the scrolls were pieces of shit.
They're not good
So
people. They're not good creatures.
no,
You know, they're like Screen Crush says, and you know, alluded to. They are a big bad for the Fantastic Four, especially. So it's going to be interesting to see how they fit into it. You know, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be like a more. It's gonna show the more politically disastrous side that we haven't really seen as far as you know the blip, what came
yeah,
before, after, during. Um, so it's gonna be really interesting to see how that works. What the overarching story is. Don Cheadle's War Machine's supposed to be back in it. That's
hmm
fun to see. Always good to see different characters who don't have much interaction get in movies together. I like that. Um, Very curious to see if the scrolls have been on our side kind of thing as far as the heroes are going to be fighting the other side. What are we going to be seeing? It's gonna be really interesting to kind of watch that series.
I think it's gonna be like some good scrolls, some bad scrolls. I think this series, like, I think people are not like overlooking it. I think it's kind of like an afterthought for some people because they're looking ahead to the future. But I think this series has a very big potential to be really freaking good. Like I'm actually really pumped for this one. And I don't know how many episodes it's going to be. I think it probably is going to be like 8 episodes. I would
6 to 8
assume.
probably, yeah.
But that's all I really know about that so far. And Maria Hill is in
Brielle's
it.
supposed to
And
be in it. Yep, glad to have her
what
back.
what's her face? Who plays her?
I don't remember. Don't even
Colby
try.
Smulders. Colby Smulders from How I Met Your Mother.
Very good.
Um,
Very smart.
she's reprising her role, which is cool because I always liked Maria Hill, just in general, like just from the cartoons and stuff. So,
Mhm.
um, I that's all I really know about it. I mean, do you know anything else?
So as far as the Secret Invasion, I just literally know the main driving part of the story is the fact that Skrulls kind of intertwine themselves, and I think they set that up perfectly with the blip taking place. It was like just like you know Scream Crush said, it's a perfect opportunity. It was a perfect time for them to invade and kind of input themselves, you know,
Yeah.
into the world, into our world. So I mean, as far as that, I think it's gonna be good. I think honestly, no matter what it is, I'm gonna watch it. To be honest, it's
Yeah.
if even if it doesn't look good, I didn't think Miss Marvel was going to be that great, and it turned out to be a lot. It blew my proportions. It blew out my expectations, I should say, quite
Mhm.
exponentially. I was a big fan of it. I liked it a lot. So I mean, at this point, with that being said, after watching Miss Marvel and not thinking at first it would be good, and now with it being pretty cool, leading to some more things in the future, like the Marvels, like potential mutants in the MCU that way somehow fitting in there. Um, you know, I don't. I'm not gonna knock any show or movie that's coming out. I know people are gonna think, oh, because they're gonna try and like force it out with all the different rumors about the MCU VFX teams, kind of complaining about being overworked, underpaid, all this different stuff. So like, even with that being said, I saw a thing today where there were like some developers, or not developers, but VFX artists were like they would sometimes like a month or two before the release of the movie ask for the whole third act to be changed. But I mean, at
Yeah.
this point, it hasn't ever affected as far as I would consider, it hasn't really affected these movies at all. Um, the overall production of them has been very good. The overall story has been relatively good. They're fitting together. We're still getting to see these characters that we've grown up with, whether it be cartoons, comic books, action figures, whether other forms of media that we've seen them. We're finally getting to see them real in action. We're getting to see a lot more of them come. Hopefully to the end, like was it 3C or Screen Crush that said that we're gonna get something huge at Secret Wars with just like literally like nothing's off the table with Secret Wars being a giant multiverse event, even more
Yeah.
so than Spider-Man or Multiverse of Madness or whatever else. So I mean, at this point, I'm down. I'm down for anything. They could say that they're gonna make a Howard the Duck show, and I'd probably still be interested
Oh, I
enough to
watch
watch
that.
it. I would be
I
interested
watch
enough
that.
to watch it, to be honest.
You know what they should make? You know what they fucking should make, dude? Frogman 8 episode series. Let's go. You know what's weird? I don't even know. I don't know anything about him.
You literally just saw the fact that it was Frogman. And you're like, fuck yeah, dude, I'm down. Um,
It just sounds like a goofy
It does. It
character.
kind of does, dude. It's kind of interesting because at this point we've really gotten a lot of the serious ones, a lot of like the really cool sounding and like heroes, I guess, essentially. So we're gonna start getting some of the goofy ones down the line, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But moving on past Secret Invasion, what's the next one we got slotted up?
So it looks like Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. That's May 5th, 2023. So that can't come soon enough because I am.
Very
So
excited.
apparently, James Gunn said. So the trailer they showed at Comic Con they were going to release right after, but James Gunn wasn't happy with the VFX. Ironically, after what you said about that, he wasn't happy where it was at, so he didn't want it released online yet. So dude, I can't wait for this shit. Because he also said that, I think I saw this today. He said it's gonna be more mature than the other two, which I'm like, I'm down for as long as it has its Guardians type humor in it. And as long as there's no like kind of what Thor had with the tone issues.
Hmm.
Um, as long as it doesn't like, as long as it balances it correctly, I'm cool with that.
See, one big thing, especially that I'm really excited for, High Evolutionary being in it. We're even getting what's his
Adam
name?
Warlock.
We're getting Adam Warlock, William Poulter. Fucking
Yes,
perfect casting. So
perfect
glad.
casting. And
So
he's
fucking
getting
glad. He
jacked.
is
He's getting
huge.
jacked.
That motherfucker's huge, dude. Um, if you would have told me the kid from fucking Narnia, the annoying cousin from Narnia 3, would have ended up being fucking Adam Warlock, I would have told you were crazy. But I'm glad.
Yeah,
I mean, he fits the role perfectly. The height, the kind of like
aesthetic.
aesthetic of it. I mean, everything. Like they showed like just a little bit of it with like his yellow tint on the face and everything, and it looks fucking cool. I'm really excited for
Hmm.
it. Um, Cosmo, the cosmic dog. I think his name is Cosmo, or it's
Yes.
I literally forget what the name of the dog is, but I'm weirdly excited for it because I'm really interested to see how they put him in the movie.
How he fits.
How he fits in it, if it's like some little small thing. But I mean, it was big enough to the fact that they released the like actor who's or actress that's doing something for it. So whether it be like voice or like the
She wasn't even there. She was at Comic Con.
really
Yeah, I saw the
that's how.
picture.
But yeah, so I mean, like they made it enough to announce it, and if there's one thing we can kind of really put towards James Gunn with the Peacemaker series, the Suicide Squad movie, dude, it's that his tone issues don't exist. These movies can be so wildly funny, but still have a serious back tone in different parts, and it works. Peacemaker
Yes.
being the show that had a lot of, it had some serious in it, and it had a lot of funny in it, and it worked.
Mhm.
Suicide Squad, same thing, a little bit of serious, a lot of funny. So
Yeah.
if that's what Guardians 3 ends up being, I'm all for it. Guardians 2 was a little similar, a little similar with that, with Ego, his mother dying because Ego was the one that essentially killed her, gave her the fucking
Yeah.
cancer. Tough. Um,
Yeah.
Terrible.
Well, you know it's funny too, because like hold Guardians 1 to a very high standard in the MCU. I think, and it's funny because one of my best friends from Connecticut fucking hates that movie, thinks it's horrible, but he doesn't like the MCU anyway, so it doesn't matter.
To fuck with him.
Uh,
To hell with him.
I think that movie is like a classic MCU movie, like absolute classic. I fucking loved it from start to finish. It was so well done. Um, and I think Guardians 3, man, dude, I can't wait, man.
It's 100% gonna be the conclusion. All the actors were kind of tearing up on stage. James Gunn saying it's going to be the ending, and just because it's the ending doesn't mean people have to die, which is a good thing because it always leaves the possibility for them to come back and not have this crazy backstory as to why they're back, whether it's a multiversal variant like Gamora or like anything like
Yeah,
that. So I mean, I'm okay with it. I think if this is going to be the last one, James Gunn is going to go out with a bang. It's gonna
100%.
be something really cool. High
But
Evolutionary being casted. I can't even. I'm not gonna try to pronounce his name, but he was in Peacemaker.
yeah,
And he was a big
is
character in
he
Peacemaker.
is he
So
gonna be the main villain for this?
I
Like
think
that's
that it's what it seems. It seems what they're pointing to is he's gonna be the main villain of the show or the movie. Sorry.
okay.
So I'm definitely interested in it. I think Modoc's gonna have a part. It's only Quantumania. Quantumania is Modoc. Um, but I'm interested to see how Modoc fits into that movie too. So I mean, regardless, but no. So I mean, Guardians 3. It looks like it's gonna be pretty cool.
Now I have a question for you. I mean I couldn't. I don't know where to start with like who's gonna make it and who's not, and who. But I want to know from you like who do you think is gonna die and who you think is gonna like live through for the next Guardians? Because he said the next Guardians team is not gonna be the same one we see here. So that means maybe we see one familiar face or maybe two, maybe three. Who do you think lives?
Drax dies. I think Drax dies in a way because from like the last thing I heard about Drax and Batista playing the character is he wasn't a huge fan of the way that they made him, because when you sign on to be Drax the Destroyer, you expect this character that is very brutal. But I mean, they made him not really a comic relief, but they made him a large part of the comedy too, which
Yeah,
I didn't find a problem with. It worked for the movie. It still showed him parts where he's like aggressively stupid and aggressive. But that worked for
yeah.
the movies. So I think he may die. Um,
Probably gonna sacrifice himself. I know. So it's with that you brought up that point with Drax. I don't know much about the character, and I've definitely watched some stuff to like learn about him back in the But when these movies were coming out, I thought he'd be stronger. Like he's not like that
like he had
strong.
they kind of drove home the part of the Guardians of the Galaxy as a team, not just the one person. Not because if you really think about it, like none of these characters have really had like this really big shining thing. It's always been all of them together that made it work. Otherwise, they're not as strong. So they kind of like I feel
Yeah.
like they've always driven that home as far as like the type of power that they can all have together.
Hmm.
Which kind of downplays characters like Groot, um, like Drax in the physical way. But I think as far as like the genius of them, Groot and Drax not being the smartest of the bunch.
Definitely
Um,
not.
but I also think maybe Mantis and Nebula possibly die. I think
Ooh.
they're
Okay.
big proponents that could possibly die. But I think the ones that 100% stay would probably be Star Lord. I think Gamora would make sense to kill her again.
Yeah.
To be
Yeah.
honest, so I think Star Lord, Gamora, Rocket, and Groot are the ones that really make it out, and the other ones
Hmm.
kind of perish one way or another, or they just stop
I
doing
don't. I have
whatever.
a weird feeling Rocket's gonna die. I don't know why.
I don't want to say it.
I
I think it too. I just don't want to say it.
don't want him to die either because I want to see more of him. I even from um the show I mentioned earlier, Avengers: Earth Mightiest Heroes. They had one episode with the Guardians of the Galaxy. They might have returned later. I don't know. It's been a while, but they had one episode with the Guardians of the Galaxy, and Rocket was like one of my fucking favorite characters in that episode. So like, I want to see more of him in the MCU. So hopefully he doesn't die. That would suck.
I would hope not. I don't think Groot dies because they already have like 2 seasons of I Am Groot planned,
Hmm.
so there's no way he dies.
No.
There's just unless they make it like a I don't know, like some just like prequel whatever stuff. They just make it a little show about him. Um, so I mean, who do you think dies then? And I'll kind of turn the question around. Like, who do you think dies?
Okay. I weirdly think Peter's gonna die. I know it sounds weird because like what's his face? He's being a big star and everything.
Chris Pratt.
Um, Chris Pratt. I don't know why I forgot his name. um, I think Nebula's gonna die. I think definitely 100% Drax because Dave Bautista said like he's basically done after this. He might come back
Yeah.
for Secret Wars, but um, Drax. I think Star Lord's gonna die. Um, I don't think Groot. I think Nebula too, and Mantis. And that's about it.
Interesting. Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, if y'all are still listening to this point, either add us on Twitter if you guys are watching on Spotify, or leave in the comments who you think is gonna cease to exist after the Guardians of the Galaxy 3 movie.
I'm
So
excited to see who the next team is too. I know
me
that's
too.
like way down the
Me
line.
too. I think Adam Warlock probably ends up being one of them because
100%.
he's a huge member in that. He'll kind of take probably like Groot, not Groot, Drax's spot, kind of in a
Yeah.
way. But anyway, so moving on, what after Guardians of the Galaxy are we rocking with here?
We got Echo coming out summer of
Echo,
2023 on Disney Plus.
which I think was rumored to be like an 8 episode kind of deal too, right?
Yeah, I would assume, yeah. So that's kind of like spin off from Hawkeye with her character. For part of Hawkeye, I liked her character, and then part of it, like I don't know, like I feel like they didn't do as well as they did in the beginning. I want to learn more about her. I think she's interesting, and I want to learn more and to dive deeper into the backstory. And now we're gonna get Kingpin back in this show and Daredevil, so that's automatically a W. So
Honestly, anything Charlie Cox Daredevil that we get in the MCU is a fucking W. I mean,
yeah.
you could tell me he's in Howard the Duck, and I'm down. You
Dude,
could tell me he's literally gonna be the lawyer for fucking Howard the Duck, and I'd be so fucking down.
we need to see a miniseries with Daredevil and Howard the
Howard the
Duck.
Duck, that would be gas.
I'd be down for that.
Give me an hour-long episode. I'll be fine. That's all I
Yeah,
need.
that's all we need.
No, but I mean, no, I think with the inclusion of Daredevil being back with Vincent D'Onofrio and Charlie Cox, the way that they kind of interacted between the seasons of Daredevil was incredible. I think that the both of them have very good chemistry. I think that the actors who played Echo, you know, and Vincent D'Onofrio's Kingpin, I think those two characters had a lot of chemistry as well. So it's going to be
Yeah.
interesting to see how those three work. Foggy Nelson's coming back.
Is that confirmed?
His character was confirmed to he's going to be coming back to
Voice.
the Daredevil for sure. Not 100% sure about the Echo, but
Yeah.
at least for Daredevil, he is confirmed to come back in some Marvel projects. Actually, I don't think they named specifics, but
Or wait, you talk about Daredevil coming back and
so the Foggy Nelson's character,
oh, okay.
the actor was confirmed to sign for projects. I just don't remember specifically for which. As far as from what I saw, don't remember if it said
Mhm.
Echo. Don't remember if it said Daredevil.
Maybe a cameo. Maybe like some type of very small part in Echo.
Yeah, like just small parts Echo. Whatever it is. But I think this series is gonna be really cool. It's gonna drive towards Daredevil. I think it's gonna be interesting to see how the Echo and Daredevil characters work because
Yeah.
one deaf, one blind. It's gonna be very interesting to see how that can be driven home.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be really interesting to see how those characters interact. I mean, I'm just very excited to see how a lot of that's gonna unfold for that type of show.
And one thing I don't think I've ever said on the podcast, like I'm very big into fight choreography. I pay a lot of attention to how the fights look, and some of the fights in Hawkeye were really good, and like most of them with Echo were really well done. So I'm very much looking forward to one because I think she's going to try to fight him at first,
Probably.
maybe. So I'm very looking forward to that matchup. And I mean, this show's gonna be very grounded, so I'm very much looking forward to all how they do the choreography for this show. Now, I don't know, as I said before, I don't know much about her. I want to learn, so I don't know what like if Kingpin's gonna be the big bad, or it's gonna be someone else, and then Kingpin's kind of on the side. I honestly
I
have no
think it'll
idea.
probably just be Kingpin, just for the fact that well, not later that year, but later in the phase, we're gonna be getting the Daredevil show. So I think that
Yeah.
would make the most sense. But nonetheless, I'm still really excited to see those characters back on screen for sure. Especially after
Mhm.
Hawkeye, seeing Vincent D'Onofrio and them for a couple episodes, seeing Echo and them for a majority. I was very excited and very pleased with their performances in that show too. So
Yeah.
definitely looking forward to the future with those characters.
So the next one we have, and this is a big one, and one of my most anticipated Disney Plus shows is Loki season 2. Um, I'm just gonna go. I want to start off with this one because, dude, I didn't think anything of this show in the beginning. Like, I didn't like before it even started. I didn't think it was gonna have that much ramifications of what
Mm-hmm.
happens. And to be honest, this show blew my fucking mind. Well, every episode was really good, and the acting was great. They poured a lot of money into it. I could tell. And dude, like it was really freaking good. And I did not think anything of it because I thought it was just be just Loki whatever like it's just gonna be like a fun Loki show. But dude, it was awesome, and I am very much looking forward to season 2.
I mean, I am as well. I was over the moon about the entire series after the first episode. I was very intrigued. We've already seen a couple set photos, with them at like an older Burger King or
Donald,
McDonald's or whatever it is. Just different little things that we're gonna be getting in season two. Tom Hiddleston, I mean, that guy just plays the once again, best MCU casting. No one
yeah,
in this world could play a better Loki than Tom Hiddleston. He
yeah.
plays a very good bad guy who you feel sorry for, which is something that a lot of MCU villains you can kind of like resonate with, but at the same time you're like, yeah, you still kind of fucking suck. like you
Yeah,
like you
yeah.
still did all just these terrible fucking things, but it's like with Tom Hiddleston, you're like, God, dude, you're right. He got fucking bullied as a kid. Like, God, dude, maybe he is okay. Um, but the actress for Sylvie, coming to find out that Sylvie is a variant of Loki. We see the old man Loki. We see the mighty Loki. We see the frog Thor in the even in the ground. That little 2 second thing, I thought that was fucking hilarious with the Chris Hemsworth. Over a little line like "Get me out of this thing" or like whatever whatever
Wait,
the
I don't.
line was.
Wait, you're gonna have to show me that after this because I don't
I'll show
remember
it to you.
that.
I'll show it to you because
Please.
whenever I saw that clip, I was crying. I thought it was so fucking funny. For a majority of the
I
Loki episodes, I actually didn't work the next day, so whenever they came out at 3 a.m., I was watching them. I was on that shit watching them.
wait,
Um,
wait. We need a Disney Plus series with Frog, Thor, and Alligator Loki. I
yes,
am
yes,
a
yes,
fucking
yes, yes,
genius.
yes. People were actually kind of like not like saying like, "Oh, this needs to happen," but at the same time, they're like kind of like, "This needs to happen." Um, but
I got an alligator
alligator
Loki
Loki, kid
yeah,
Loki,
t-shirt.
like all these different things, they were like it worked. That show was it was perfect.
Yeah.
At the TVA kind of explaining the how the not the multiverse but the timeline works because that was a big thing that the Sorcerer Supreme back in 2016 or not 2016 2012 whenever the he
Yeah, 2012.
Hulk goes back in the Avenger timeline and he tries to get the time stone from the Sorcerer Supreme, and she's explaining the timeline how it works, and even then you're like, but how the fuck does this work? How does this split off? How does it? And then Loki, literally the entire show is just explaining like the timeline breaks, how it opens, and how it's stayed the exact same, no, regardless of what is supposed to happen, because he who remains is the one who set up the TVA. The TVA is
Yeah.
the one who goes around and they were making sure that things stays in line and everything is supposed to go as smooth as possible so that the timeline stays in one direction
Hmm.
until the very end. That if you sync it up with one, it's still one of the craziest fucking things. Swear to God, if you sync it up with the WandaVision part where Wanda sees her true power with the Darkhold, all this type of stuff. If you sync that up with the scene where He Who Remains goes, that's it. Like this is the point where I don't know what happens next. I know everything
Uh-huh.
that happens up to this point, and then if you sync those two scenes up, as soon as she gets her power, is the same exact time that he goes, "Oh shit!" Like we're in the time where I don't know what happens anymore. Like
Wait, really?
and then Sylvie just full on drives a fucking stake through him. So yeah,
Wow.
I'll show that to you too. I mean, it's really insane. The first time I saw that, I was mind blown. Whenever somebody first realized that, I mean, yeah, you can kind of manipulate it and sync them that way, but still, like that's kind of creepy how you're able to sync them that well to the point where she finds her true power, all this stuff, and then all of a sudden he goes, "Fuck!" Like he literally is just like, That's all I got. I was fixed up to this point, and now you're on your own. Now you have to figure
Yeah.
it out." And we see at the end of Loki season 2, due to Sylvie running a knife through his heart, Kang takes over the TVA. Kang essentially seems to be the world ruler over wherever Loki is at this point. So I'm very, very interested to see how the season's gonna unfold.
Yeah, and it was like we all like since we're kind of nerds about this shit, we knew who he was in that last episode of Loki. We knew that was Kang or a version of Kang. And the fact that he started in that show, like that is nuts to me. Like he's not even in a movie. Like he started in that show, and
Loki's
that
insane,
last episode was a
dude.
banger.
It was probably one of the best. I would say arguably one of the best, if not the best, episodes in a Marvel Disney Plus show so far.
I agree.
Um,
The score was really good too for Loki.
yeah. Um, so I remember watching this at 3 a.m. Watching that last episode, and then when the elevator doors open, you see He Who Remains, and I screamed. I fucking screamed because I fucking knew what this meant. I was like, oh my fucking god! Like finally, King the Conqueror,
Doing it.
Jonathan Majors is in the MCU. That we're starting it. Like now it's
Yeah.
starting. The multiversal time. I mean, we're literally got it confirmed that this saga is going to be called the Multiverse Saga.
Hmm.
Um, Absolutely fucking mind blowing stuff. I'm very much looking forward to Loki season 2, seeing how much Jonathan Majors is in it,
Yeah.
seeing what type of things they have to deal with at this point. Like, are they going to sit there and try and be their own version of the TVA, being Owen Wilson, Loki, and Sylvie? Like, what exactly are they doing at this point? So I'm very curious and very thrilled to kind of find out what's going to happen.
Just off the bat, Jonathan Majors as Kang, another amazing casting. Shout out Marvel for just doing really good at that, really good at that shit. um, for season two, I literally don't know what to expect because there's so many possibilities because it involves time travel. So I genuinely have no fucking clue what is going to happen. And can you imagine what either last episode's going to be for that, or a teaser that leads into something even crazier? Dude,
So I mean,
fucking
especially
give it to
after
me now.
season 1, like there's no point of even trying to figure out because like that whole
Yeah,
season just took us on a whirlwind and a roller coaster of just different things throughout the entire season that all ended up culminating to getting to the place of He Who Remains. I mean,
yeah.
it was just nuts. It was very cool. Um, so yeah, after Loki season 2, what do we got? What's next on the docket there?
We have on July 28th, 2023, The Marvels. So I'm gonna be honest with you. I haven't seen Ms. Marvel on Disney Plus yet. I might continue kind of gassing it up. Um, I personally love Captain Marvel as a character, Carol Danvers. I loved her because of that show I mentioned earlier. They did her really fucking good in that show, and I did like Brie Larson as the character. So I'm kind of I just love how fucking strong she is. She's like stupidly powerful. so, so I'm kind of excited what they do with this. I don't know. It's gonna be some cosmic villain. It has to be for this movie, right?
See, the thing is, I don't fucking know. And I
Neither do
don't.
I.
The thing is, like this. Of course, am I gonna watch it? Yeah, but this is the one, like one of those ones that I'm like not gonna sit there and like think about, theorize about. I'm gonna let stuff come out and let people tell me what's gonna happen, basically what they think's gonna happen. Because then I'm like, okay, because I don't feel indifferent about the movie. I want it to come out. I want to see more Photon. I want to see Captain Marvel. I want to see more Miss Marvel. I want to see
Yeah.
those characters, but I also don't care. Like personally, just don't care enough to really be like, oh, this could happen. This could happen. But at the same time, we have no clue. We haven't really heard too much about it besides the fact that all three of them are in it, and it's just called the Marvels.
I think
Um,
they're
so I don't fucking
I
know.
think they're filming now
Yeah,
or
that
they're
sounds about
soon
right. Something.
soon.
Or they have
Um,
already started. Like, I mean, it really is. I have no
I,
idea.
I, I'm gonna be honest. Out of the three, I care most about Captain Marvel. I think she's just a badass. And I mean, just real quick, how did you like that movie, Captain Marvel?
I was surprised by it. I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. I think I was very indifferent about it. Kind of the same as her character. I think Captain Marvel
Yeah,
as a character is very cool, but overpowered characters like that aren't really fun because you have to downplay them so much. They have to have a struggle because it's a movie,
yeah,
and you really can't be like it is in the comics a lot of the time and just like 2 panels later she destroys the villain because then that'd make a really fucking shitty movie. Um, just being
Yeah.
honest, do I think it set up some things as far as the scrolls, as far as like how Nick Fury lost his eye? Yeah,
Mhm.
but besides that, for me, it just really didn't do a lot for me. Watched it, still enjoyed it, was okay with it. Um, but I'm still gonna watch it. Like I said, Marvel,
Yeah,
I'm gonna
same.
watch it. I'm really interested to see how those three characters are gonna interact, because they never really necessarily met. Oh
No,
no,
they haven't.
Miss Marvel and Photon technically have whenever Photon was much younger. Back in the '90s,
True.
technically because she's the daughter of her co-pilot, like best friend. But I mean, it'll be a good movie, I'm sure. I just want to hear some more story. What it's really gonna be about before I make a real harsh judgment. I feel like this is one of the movies we just haven't seen a lot or heard about.
I I agree, and like I really have no idea what the villain's gonna be, what the storyline's gonna be. Kind of we'll just have to wait and see. I hope they do dive more into like the Kree part of this, that type of world and more cosmic stuff. We'll get to that later. After when we talk about the Avengers and everything. So I mean, the next one it's a big one, and it's something that's been in the works for a while. Blade.
Fucking
Kind of
Blade,
a
man.
yeah. People who haven't been following, this is probably a surprise when they see this picture, is seeing Blade in there. But like when an actor like Mahershala Ali's like, "Hey, I want to play Blade," and you're like, "You're fucking playing Blade. We'll figure it out." And I think it does it helps the MCU a little bit because they're like not everything has to be like multiverse stuff. This is more supernatural in a
Yeah,
way. So you're bringing in a lot of cool different characters that no one really knows that are actually pretty cool that I didn't really know. So I'm learning and like finding out the Ebony Blade and the I forget a Black Knight or whatever
the
his name
Black
is.
Sword or like something when it's called. I honestly forget his sword, but yeah, Black Knight.
Hmm.
What's his
Just
name?
Blade in general.
What's the character? Not the character, but the actor's name that's gonna
Uh,
play the Black Knight.
Kit
Kit
Harrington.
Harrington. Kit Harrington. That's right.
Um,
Um,
And you have Werewolf by Night,
Werewolf
which
by
I
Night,
don't
a
know much.
miniseries. Um,
They haven't announced it yet, though.
so what's gonna be interesting is we're gonna be possibly seeing like I think not like Hell Suns, but it's like Midnight Suns. The Midnight Suns is
Yes,
is
they
a
need
is a is a group that has Ghost Rider, has Blade, it has potentially characters like Moon Knight in it.
Doctor Strange.
That Doctor Strange. I mean, like just little bits of characters that I wouldn't mind them getting to interact a little bit. Hopefully if Oscar Isaac decides to resign, if Marvel decides to further the character of Moon Knight, which I hope they do. I
Me
think Moon Knight
too.
was a very cool and a very interesting series. Mr. Knight, Moon Knight, all that. I think that was really cool.
Yeah.
Um, but I really hope that we end up getting Midnight Suns eventually. That would be down the line. But because we don't have a Ghost Rider yet, we don't really have an
Yeah.
established Blade yet with that until that movie comes out. Like you said, it's gonna be supernatural. It's gonna be something that's something a little bit different that we haven't really seen in Marvel, because we haven't really seen like supernatural. We've seen Moon Knight, but that's not even. I guess you can call that supernatural in a way.
Yeah.
It's very supernaturally driven by cosmic entities in a way too.
Yeah.
Um, so I think with that being said, I think it's gonna start like a new era. Like Ghost Rider kind of has a supernatural ish kind of
Hmm.
thing. Deadpool in a way has a supernatural backstory with Mister Sinister, with potential of essentially the MCU's devil. I forget what his name is. I can't remember now.
Mephisto.
Mephisto. They have Mephisto like potentially being a villain down the line for Midnight Suns, or just these different characters. I'm very impartial to the Wesley Snipe Blade movies. I
I've never
think
seen him.
I watched them not too long ago on the Netflix, and albeit they abuse the early to late 1990s fighting and like the choreography that just doesn't make sense. It's very like they try to make it very comic booky with like the
Yeah.
fight scenes and stuff. So it's very campy. It's very like kind of trolly in a way, but at the same time,
Hmm.
it's also kind of cool. I think the movies are not as bad. I think they're kind of like cult movies at this point for a lot of people. Um, so I don't know. I think with Mahershala Ali, I think he's a great actor. He's a phenomenal actor even. So I think he'll do Blade justice. I think we're gonna get some really cool stuff. Supernaturally, like you said, I'm gonna keep hitting that point home too because I think that's gonna be really cool to see something that's purely just supernatural
Yeah.
It isn't stuff that's like has something to do with cosmic, something to do with just enhanced powers and stuff. It's literally a fucking half vampire, half human who just fucks shit up. And
Yeah.
I'm down. Like I'm so down for it.
And the fact that like it's a full blown movie, like dude, it's. I mean, if they better not keep that one under 2 hours, or I'm gonna fucking be pissed. Like that one better be 2 hours and 30 minutes or more. Fucking give me more.
Need
Like,
more.
I'm very. I don't even like. I used to not really care about Blade, like until what was there's a video game that was really cool that had Blade in it, and I was like, I kind of fucked with using him as a character.
Ultimate Alliance,
Um,
maybe.
Ultimate Alliance,
Ultimate
Ultimate
Alliance
Alliance.
2. Fuck with that game. One of my favorite games of all time.
So and also on this, like when they announced Marshall Ali as Blade, I was like, that is literally perfect. Again, another perfect casting. I mean, to be honest, he kind of chose. He kind of was like, "Hey, let me do Blade," and like, "Yeah, let's do Blade." So, but honestly, it works. Like
It
it's a
works.
good way to change it up in a way. And you can include them in the end for like Secret
The
Wars and all that
Secret
shit,
Wars for a lot of different stuff like that too, for sure.
because they're involved. And also, like as you said before, Midnight Suns, either as a movie or a Disney Plus show, that shit would be fucking very popular,
It'd be
and they could
very
do
good.
multiple seasons or multiple movies. So, anything more about Blade?
No, I mean we don't know too much about a story just yet. I think it's just I'm very excited to have a more updated Blade to see how they can
Yeah,
kind of portray that.
excited to hear. I'm excited to see like the first picture and like the teaser
Yes,
trailer and
yes,
shit,
yes, yes, definitely, definitely,
which we'll be reacting to 100%.
100%.
Because we're gonna freak the fuck out. So next we have Ironheart, which comes out fall 2023. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't know who she was. I remember watching a video on Endgame, and Emergency Awesome mentioned Ironheart probably being the next, like, version of Iron Man. I was like, cool. Like, it means, it's different. It's probably gonna be
Yeah, I mean
uh
they're really trying
to
to
be
drive
nice.
home the Young Avengers coming up.
Yeah.
I'm down. I'm really down for it. To be honest, to have Speed and Wiccan, to have Kate Bishop Hawkeye, to
Hmm.
have Riri Williams as Ironheart, just Cassie Lang Stinger,
Yeah.
potential. What is his name? The the other Captain America from Falcon Winter Soldier, not Sam Wilson's, but his grandson ends up being like the Patriot or something like that in the comics.
Oh, I
He ends
think I
up
remember watching a Young
he ends
Avengers
up
like animated
being
movie.
well.
I think,
That's no, that one is the son of Captain America and like somebody else. But
yeah, that was a
let me
long time
see.
ago though.
I'm gonna look it up to just talk, and I'll find it.
But yeah, as I said, I don't know much about the
Elijah
character.
Bradley.
Elijah
Elijah
Bradley. Okay.
Bradley's
Oh,
Patriot. Yep, Patriot.
now,
So
n- not
potential
to
for that.
not to dive too much into Young Avengers, but so I'm curious, just real quick, does he get to super soldier syndrome as like Patriot? Or, like, how does he
I
become
think because
that?
technically there, like we see in the Falcon Winter Soldier, we see the backstory that there was an African American Captain America back in the day. There was a super soldier, because it kind of like ties into the political real life, Tuskegee, I forget what like the whole thing was. Essentially, people like doctors, the government literally injected African Americans with uh, syphilis, I believe, or it was
Hmm.
something that was really messed up, and they just to see how they react, use them as test rats, everything like that for it. It was awful. But they essentially like not switched it, but kind of like morphed it into what ended up being like a super soldier testing, just try and see if they could recreate the Captain America serum after he died.
Yeah.
I think they ended up making him like the Vietnam War, maybe is what they ended up doing it for him,
Yeah.
or like post World War II once Captain America was lost type thing, because he was the only one that had a super soldier serum left in him.
Hmm.
But I think in the lineage of that family line, because he's the Elijah Bradley is the grandson of the African American Captain America or Captain America. That they there may be something there that maybe has whether it be unlocked. So maybe if they try to make it something not necessarily mutant, but kind of just like unlock or enhance um his blood to make it do that or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we'll end up seeing him in the Young Avengers for sure.
Okay. Now what do you know about Ironheart? Because I know jack shit.
Yeah, I don't know a lot. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know a lot. I heard the same thing as you, Emergency Awesome back in the day. Everybody else back in the day was really saying Ironheart's probably gonna be the next version of Iron Man that we're gonna see in the MCU. Um, so I mean, I think it's gonna be cool to see her in Wakanda Forever. There's already a pop that came out that you can pre-buy. I love how they are already making that stuff come out, and there is like a look at what her Mark One armor is gonna look like, which you'd think if she is building it in Wakanda, the world's MCU world's richest everything. You'd think she would have come up with something different, but if they're
Yeah.
if they're gonna play along with she's an exchange student that ends up creating her own suit and then kind of helping along with the battle, then okay, cool. Kind of give her like a similar Iron Man chip on her shoulder type of thing to make a better suit as it goes along, with help from
Yeah.
Shuri or whoever else. So I'm down with it. I think it's gonna be really cool. Once again, Disney miniseries, probably gonna be 6 to 8 episodes, just to get. So what I've kind of understood is we're really just getting these Marvel TV shows to either further or like lead up to another story that's gonna be in a movie, or we're getting a better backstory on these characters. So they're not literally just being thrown in, which I'm
Yeah.
perfectly fine with. I mean, she's gonna be introduced in Wakanda Forever before Ironheart comes out, but at least we're gonna be able to get more of a backstory on her before she appears in a lot more things. Um,
Mhm.
Same for WandaVision, we get Speed and Wiccan. We get the twins from Wanda and Vision. We get Kate Bishop and Hawkeye. We're getting like
Yeah.
these mini backstories and these kind of reasoning as to why they where they are, whether it be they're made up from Wanda's mind, whether it be that they're super fans of Hawkeye, whatever it may be. I like that. I'm okay with that because it's the similar way in the comics that we get those same explanations, those same stories as to why characters act the way they do, are the way they are. Um, so I'm all for it.
Yeah.
All MCU Marvel stuff that we can get, all comic stuff we can get, pop culture stuff. I'm fucking down to consume it. To be honest.
Honestly, I'm the same way. And like for Ironheart, I just from like watching Screen Crush and 3C. Um, I can't like it would make the series even more better, even better if they had because like in the comics there was like a Tony Stark projection or basically teaching her how to like do shit. Like it was an AI version of Tony
Yes. Yep.
Stark.
Okay.
Um, that's what I meant to say. So that's what I was. That's what would be awesome if it was in that. That would make this like even more exciting to me. I don't think Johnny Jr. is going to do that. It'd be cool if he did, but I'm curious what they do for the story and like who's her villains and stuff like that.
Right.
Like, but I think with her Mark 1 armor, um, I mean, I'm assuming she's probably in the Wakanda Forever. She probably doesn't have a lot of time to make it because it's probably shit going down.
That's true.
And
That's
she's
true.
still learning. So, because Iron Man was Iron Man, so that's. I mean, I'm excited for it. I'm excited for her future too because
Mm.
I love a good Iron Man. So like,
Yeah,
I think it's
that's
gonna be
very
sick.
true. I'm definitely looking forward to hearing more about it, what the backstory on it's gonna be.
Yeah. As I say, hopefully, I mean, maybe they'll have AI Tony. Who knows? Maybe that'll be like a little surprise before the show comes out or something. I don't know. Um, so we'll have to see. So next is Agatha Coven of Chaos.
Skip.
That what'd you say?
Skip.
Yeah. So
Uh,
I sent you a
I
text saying I was
that's
excited for everyone except for one, and this is the one I was like I could honestly if they just took that out and put in something else, I'd be fine.
even if they just kept it out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. I just don't give a fuck. I just don't care what happened to Agatha Harkness after Wanda dies, quote unquote.
Yeah. Or dies.
Yeah, like I I like her actress. I like the actress that played her. I liked her in WandaVision. I think it was she was condescending. She was exactly what she is. She's a witch.
Good one and
Um,
done.
yeah, it was a good one and done, but it should have been just that.
Yeah.
It should have been a one and done because, frankly, I don't give a fuck what Covenant. What was it? Covenant of
Coven
Chaos.
Coven of Chaos.
I don't give a fuck.
So I think we both really
I'm
don't
still gonna watch
care
it.
right now, but I feel like maybe the series might be better than we think. We'll have to wait and see.
I'm still
So
gonna watch it.
that's all I really know. And maybe Wanda will show up. I'm down for more Wanda. I'm I'm loving Wanda more and more as they go into her actual fucking character that she was actually supposed to be. Um, so maybe she'll show up, maybe she won't. I don't know. I could really hit or miss, but maybe this show will surprise us. Maybe.
Elizabeth Olsen is my mom. I fucking love Elizabeth Olsen. She is fucking.
Yeah.
Anyway, before we get too explicit.
So next, that we're done with that one. So next is spring 2024, Daredevil Born Again. Now,
Yes,
I
yes.
did not know there was a comic book called Daredevil Born Again. I thought that meant like like a soft reboot, but apparently they're probably gonna do the story Born Again, which is it's gonna be 18 episodes, dude. Like, there's a lot of story to tell. There better be no fucking fillers, dude.
I think there's gonna definitely be fillers, but I think they're gonna be more worth it fillers than we got in, for instance, like Obi-Wan, or
Mhm.
just any other type of series like traditional fillers. I think we're gonna get fillers with a purpose. Whether it be different characters that maybe come in or just like different things that happen. Which even then, to be honest, if it is just fillers, give me Charlie Cox as fucking Daredevil.
Yeah.
Give me fucking Matt Murdock. Give me Daredevil. Give me whoever the fuck. I don't care. Give me Charlie Cox on a screen in an MCU setting. I'm
Yes.
down. I mean, I think he's a fucking phenomenal actor. I can't wait to see how Vincent D'Onofrio fits into it, how Echo fits into it, how. Dude, if we get John Barenthal fucking back as the Punisher in this fucking series, I swear to God I will
Mhm.
come. I want it so bad to be like we're getting all these characters back. We're getting potential like little kind of rumors here and there of the same actors or actresses for Jessica Jones, for Luke Cage to come back. The only one I haven't heard is Iron Fist probably isn't coming back as far as that character.
Reboot that one. Reboot that one. They fucked it up.
Just reboot it, give me a different actor. I don't think it was the actor's
Iron
fault.
Fist is too cool of a character that they fucked it up. Do it again. Do it right,
Just
and you got a cool
give me
character.
a Luke Cage and Iron Fist because same thing. Earth's Mightiest
Here's for
Heroes.
hire. Here's for
Give me
hire,
Heroes for
baby.
Hire. Give me that shit, man. I'm
That is
so
a
down.
unique dude. That I know I'm getting real passionate about this one because I've been wanting ever since the Avengers Earth Mightiest Heroes show. I got a taste of Heroes for Hire, and I've wanted a Disney Plus Heroes for Hire for a long time because that's unique. It's different. It's a cool like buddy cop type thing, and it hasn't been done before. And I need it right now. I need it
I
right
mean,
now.
I think the actor who plays Luke Cage, and I think a really good suited Iron Fist would be great.
Yes.
But kind of straying off. As far as that, I really want John Barenthal to return as Punisher. Really bad. We have time before that show even starts filming, I'm sure, because it comes out in 24. You said right?
20 spring 2024. Yeah. So it's
So
gonna be a
it's
while.
gonna be about yeah 2 years. So basically, with that being said, I like please for the love of God give me Punisher. Please give me Punisher back. We have the rights to him now. Fucking use it. Like use those rights.
hmm
Um, but I mean, regardless, just give me Kingpin, give me Daredevil back, and I'll suffice with that. I'll be okay. But
Well, like John Bernthal loves Punisher, so like it makes sense. And I think they might maybe it's possible they'll announce that at D23 possibly. I don't know what they're doing with Punisher. I don't know what their plans are with him. Could they do a show? Yes. I don't know how he would fit into the Born Again. If they're
I don't
adapting that
care.
storyline,
I don't care.
but fit him
I
in
just don't care.
somewhere.
I just get him in.
Just even if it's a cameo, like so he's canon and we'll figure it out in the future.
Well,
You know,
as far as I know, I think all that stuff is still considered canon, quote unquote. But like,
we'll see after the
give
show
me
because it might be a soft
official.
reboot.
Give me official.
Yeah,
No, but I mean, I think as far as that, can't wait to hear more about it. Can't wait to see more. I'm just fucking really excited, man.
same. I think we were. I think we're all surprised in how fucking good Charlie Cox was as Daredevil. Um, it was a character I didn't really think much of, like sort of. And what after that show, I was like, this character is fucking awesome. I want more and more of him. I still haven't seen season 3. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know, have you seen it? Was it
It's great.
good?
It's phenomenal. I mean, so
Oh,
that's why
okay.
I want to keep pushing for it. Is like every one of those shows that was on Netflix as far as MCU stuff was lit.
Mhm.
all the Marvel
Yeah.
Netflix shows were great. Defenders was fun. Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Iron Fist kind of sucked. Daredevil was really good.
Yes.
Punisher was great. So, I mean, as far as them all being, I just want them all to be back.
Mhm.
Um, I'm looking forward to hearing more about it, like I said, hearing what the storyline's gonna be behind it. If they're really gonna do more of the Born Again actual comic, if they're just kind of hinting more, so like you said, the kind of soft reboot towards him being in the MCU now, being more canon, being actually a part with different characters in that, um, in that show.
Personally, I kind of want to see like a bunch of different Daredevil villains along with Kingpin in that. I want to see more of what his rogue gallery is besides Kingpin and Bullseye.
Bullseye. I mean, I want
Um,
Bullseye back, to be honest.
yeah, I don't know the other villains for Daredevil. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Neither do I.
Um,
I'd have to look
but
it up, but I'm sure as soon as I do, I'll be like, oh yeah, that makes sense.
yeah,
But no, I'm just really excited for that series, man, for
100%.
sure.
And honestly, like just, we've been the fans have been wanting this for a long time, and I think we finally got what we wanted. Charlie Cox is back. Like it's gonna be a good time, and I that first trailer is gonna be fucking sick. It really is.
Once again, we'll react to it. Look forward to it.
100%.
No, but I remember whenever he was in, even in that one little scene
No
in
Way
No Way
Home.
Home, I geeked. Me and my friends
Yeah.
fucking freaked out. We were like, "Fuck yes, Charlie
Mhm.
Cox is back. The Daredevil is in the MCU."
And he's
Um,
like, dude, he's just a
Dude,
perfect Daredevil.
he is. He is.
And like, dude, like another great casting by Marvel. It's another one. Like, dude, like they're so good at that shit.
Almost like it's their job or
um,
something.
what did you say?
It's almost like it's their job. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I know. I wonder what type of suit they're gonna do for this one, because like we saw on the She-Hulk,
Potential
which we'll
red and yellow
which we'll
suit.
get to. Well, She-Hulk's part of
I was
Phase
gonna say it's
Four.
part of Phase 4, so I actually missed the mark on that one a little bit. But hey, surprise, she's in that.
Like he has like the yellow, like the classic yellow and red suit in that show.
That's what it
So
looks
like
like at least, yeah.
I wonder what they're gonna do for this one, because like, you know how like Marvel likes to fucking switch the suits all the time. And I'll just say this before we get to the next one: Spider-Man suit at the end of No Way Home was fucking awesome. Do
Perfect.
not change it for the next one. At least give it a whole movie, and then you could change it for the next one. After that one, just fucking keep it for one fucking movie because it looks so good.
It does, man.
Um, so next we have Captain America: New World Order, coming out May 3rd, 2024. To be honest, I mean, I heard what 3C Films thought it might be like a multiverse film. I'm hearing it might be like a conspiracy theory type movie. Um, so I honestly have no fucking clue what to expect.
Either. To be honest, not sure what to expect, what the story's gonna be for it, but once again, looking forward to it. Really was looking forward to once Falcon Winter Soldier came out with it. They said who the next. They didn't say. They just showed it too. Who the next
Yeah,
Captain America is really gonna be? Was it gonna be Sam? Was it gonna be Bucky? We find out it's Sam. The fucking suit looks incredible. The
it really
most
does.
Probably the most comic accurate with modernized touches to a suit that we've gotten. In the MCU, that's like practical, not a suit,
Yeah.
not CGI, like literal practical suit. Um, so looking forward to that beyond belief. At the end of the day, to be honest, can't wait to hear, see, feel more. I guess
I,
about this movie.
I was really wanting. I was really hoping they would do another Captain America, like Captain. I guess you would say Captain America 4, but like I was really hoping after that show they would do a movie, because I really wanted to see his version of Captain America in an actual movie. So I don't, like, as I said before, no idea what they're gonna do. Very excited for it. Very excited for the trailer. Very excited for first looks. I want it now. Fucking give it to me now.
And to round
So
out Phase 5, what is it? Give it to me.
Thun- Thunderbolts, which we did a whole episode on, but Jacob deleted it.
It's the lost episode of conversations. It happens, but you know what? Now we can actually talk about it right here and now.
Hell yeah.
Not only did we get a rumor, now we have the absolute confirmation that what's going to be rounding out Phase 5, it's going to be Thunderbolts.
Mhm.
I mean, it's going to be great.
Yeah.
we already have like the officials, signed up members right now as far as U.S. agent Yelena Belova, and then most likely the Abomination. It looks like they in She-Hulk they're trying to clear the Abomination's name essentially, so to probably end up getting him so he could be used for the Thunderbolts. It's
Yeah.
exactly what I'm expecting for the end of that show, or like the end of that whole trial set that they end up doing. Um, I think potentials as far as like Ghost from Ant-Man and the Wasp, like we talked about earlier. I think with just different additions of characters that they can possibly do for it, as far as Baron Zemo too. Can't forget
Yeah.
him.
It's a
I
big part of
can't.
it.
He's a big part of the Thunderbolts. So I'm excited to see what the rogue gallery of the the Marvel's Suicide Squad basically is going to look like. I'm
Yeah.
very very interested to see what that's going to look like over in the MCU.
And I wonder what their like goal is going to be for that movie. Like not like the actual team, like what they're supposed to be doing for that movie.
Right.
I'm very curious about that. And I'm very curious the official team when we actually get it. We're gonna have to break that down for a conversation for sure because that's going to be interesting. And now, in the article that came out a couple months ago, I think, for the rumored of Thunderbolts, Winter Soldier was supposed to be possibly part of the team, as I would think part of like their more the guy who has like a good moral compass and like he's actually decent like he has some bad backgrounds but like he's turning his life around. So I would be down for that. I don't know if he was part of the team in the comics. I genuinely don't know. But even if you exclude him, the team of like Baron Zemo, let's say Ghost for shits and giggles, because I wanted her character explored a little bit more. Um, Yelena Belova, Abomination. Who was the other one? Uh,
U.S.
uh,
agent.
U.S. Agent, and probably a few more by the time we get to that movie. It's gonna be sick, man. Like it's gonna
That's
be
gonna be really
different
cool.
for Marvel, and it could spin off into something crazier for movies or Disney Plus shows. So
Yeah, for sure.
I think it's be sick.
I think it'd be interesting to see what they do because usually the Thunderbolts ends up having the Red Hulk, but now our Thaddeus Ross, the actor, passed away. Rest in peace. He
Yeah,
passed away a
rest
couple
in
months
peace.
ago. Um, so I'm really interested to see what exactly they're gonna do now. As far as the Thunderbolts, are they gonna kind of like? Because I think they even nicknamed him like Thunderbolt Ross as far as the MCU as well. So I'm wondering if they're kind of like at this point then commemorate his name, quote unquote, in the MCU and
Yeah,
call them the Thunderbolts because of that, because it was kind of his original initiative. And they're like, oh, what do we call this? Thunderbolt? I don't know.
yeah.
Just I don't know. I feel like that kind of makes sense in one way or another.
What are we? Some kind of Thunderbolt squad?
Um,
We're
no, man, but I think the future of the MCU is bright.
not even done.
I know we have Phase 6 to do. I think we're gonna make that a separate one. I think it makes no sense because we can
Mhm.
open up the floodgates as far as
Yeah,
potential stuff for that one. So I mean, final thoughts, Phase 5. What are you thinking?
I'm excited. Give it. I'm gonna come.
I'm gonna fucking come. I'm very much looking forward to it. What they're gonna do with it. What the next steps are for the MCU. With Phase 5 being a case, being the next thing after we're done here, after we're done with She-Hulk, after we're done with Black Panther. Phase 5, here it is, like right there. As far as 2023 starts, February is gonna be, Quantumania. We're gonna have it. It's gonna be
Yeah.
there, and probably by the time we know it, that Phase 5 is gonna be around, and we're gonna be entering the real meat and potatoes, if you will, of the multiverse saga. Um, I'm just really looking forward to it. So if you want to close this out, you want me to? I mean, I'll do it one way or another. It's all good. Doesn't matter.
I just want to say there's a lot of fucking good content coming, dude. Like Marvel absolutely dropped bombs, and this is quality shit that's coming. As long as they do everything right, which I do trust Marvel to do right for the most of it. Like it's gonna be good shit, and I'm excited for it. Like they're doing stuff right in my opinion. Not like DC right now, but if now we didn't talk about She-Hulk that much. We did talk about it on a reaction of the trailer. We're gonna talk about it a lot once we actually see the whole series. But I'm excited for that too. Um, Marvel's killing it right now, and It's hard to deny that at this point. And the fact that Kevin Feige said he has everything planned out to 2030, like that's pretty mind blowing to me.
And
So
he did reveal he's gonna go to like some like meeting, and then they're gonna plan out the next 10 years after. I don't know if that's including after Phase 6 or like just like now, 10 years from now. So literally 2032 essentially.
yeah.
So I'm very excited to see how that's gonna end up looking.
Hmm.
Very excited for the future of the MCU. You know, we got Phase 6. We'll talk about that in our next conversations here that's coming up. But you know, the Phase 5 is gonna be really cool. We're gonna get a lot of cool characters, a lot of cool pushing to
Moments.
what Phase 6 is going to end up being. So honestly, with that being said, I mean we're a little over an hour at this point. We've talked about it in depth. We talked about the ones we're most excited for. Kind of skipped over some we're not as excited for. But at the end of the day, as always, it's been Jacob CapShotz, Mike Hush, talking about everything geeky. This has been our episode on San Diego Comic Con's Phase 5 reveal from Marvel, and we're out. Peace.
Peace.